Atheist, whack an atheist. Oh, hey everyone, Dr. Kennard here with BigZebra.com. John Hudson, the one, the only John Hudson, showing off the guns this morning. John Hudson.
No, I was had to put a shirt on, so this
Oh,
was.
well, I personally appreciate you putting on a shirt. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Dr. Tom Fuller, good morning. It's funny, John, is that my girlfriend gets this swag. She gets this gear from her company, and one of
Uh-huh.
it is like a vest. And it might fit me, it might not. I don't know. She goes, it's like, well, you're not really a vest person, Andy. It's like, that's right, because I have spindly little arms. My arms would just look, well, it would just highlight how ridiculous my arms actually look. And so I am not a vest person.
I just grabbed something to put on. So
Sure, sure. Okay. I hope everyone's doing well. So,
Okay.
Big
I
Zebra,
just wanted to say yesterday, when at the end of the show, I was in the chat because my internet was being weird, and I was talking stuff that might have sounded like shit, but I'm telling you, you'd have to be there. We would my dad would make uh, modified guns, and we would go out there and see how long it took before we'd get barrel warpage from the
oh
heat
yeah,
of the barrel. He did it in a scientific method. He wanted to
sure.
know how many rounds could actually go through a weapon before it started to compromise the integrity of what we were shooting. So
Right.
just
And one of the innovations, I think it was during World War II, that was common for these, tripod machine guns, right? Is that
yeah.
they had replaceable barrels. So
Mm.
if it started heating up, you could just literally pull a lever, pop out the barrel, throw on the backup barrel, and then just lock it in and rock and roll from there. So
That's impressive. You need some exact machining to have a sort of a because if you didn't have a good seal, so to
yeah,
speak,
yeah,
not that
That's
you
the,
would use sealant.
yeah.
and
And
the
that's
tolerances too. And
Yes.
it wasn't just about him making the weapons. It was about the ammunition that because a different slug will go at a different velocity and expand different upon contact and
mhm.
such. To where I mean, he took it. He was a fucking scientist about it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was a
Mm.
machine gun. Once again, What's up, Tobin? There was a famous machine gun that the Germans used in World War II. It was nicknamed Hitler's buzzsaw because of how deadly it
Ooh.
was. But yeah, it had that base, and the British had a similar design. You literally pop out the barrel, throw in another one, and you can rock and roll afterwards. And if you actually go on YouTube, there are a bunch of videos showing gun barrels melting, basically
Ooh.
because glowing red and then melting from use. Yeah.
In earlier times, I think maybe end of the Civil War, maybe post Civil War, they had systems. I think it was the Gatling gun
Yeah.
that had rotating barrels.
Yeah. They would have
Yeah,
to hand crank that shit.
that holy crap, a rotating barrel system. That astonishes me that that would even work, but it does work.
Well, the thing is about those Gatling guns is that they had a tendency to jam.
Uh-oh.
so,
Well,
so
Well,
too, and
come to think of it,
that,
there
that
is a system of rotating barrels that I've seen them on
yeah,
helicopter ships.
those are Vulcan guns. Vulcan guns I believe that's one of the names for that particular type. They're basically, if you look at Predator, right, that movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger made it.
Yes.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Wow, that's the one
Mm.
verse I know for one line from Predator. But I think he had one of those little Gatling machine
Yeah,
guns.
it would pop up on his shoulder.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Hey, I had a bit of news for us. Is it a good time to discuss it,
Sure,
Dr.
sure,
Kennard?
man. Yes, please do.
Okay, well, I proposed this idea of Kidnap an Atheist website. My friend was interested, but he is a working guy and he
Yeah.
wants some money to do this, but I don't think it would have to be a lot.
So,
If So, what it comes down to is that what I thought I would do is um, I don't have a price out of him yet,
okay,
but so let's not say it's a done deal. But I
sure.
thought I would match whatever everyone else comes up with
Well, let's see what.
and I would cover the hosting package.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be asked to pay money every year,
Oh, sweet.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and the thing is, if the gag works, if the site works, then it would pay for itself, I think, in terms of laughs.
Sure. I was thinking in terms of thought I would take the first pass at writing it. I've done a lot of writing work over the years, and I would resist the urge to put a blatant sense of humor on it.
Yeah,
I would keep it more straight,
I would
so
play it
as
straight.
to
Yeah, definitely. Because you
yeah,
look at
and
the Run to Hitman website, I imagine that was straight. That was just.
I wonder why don't we look it up right
I,
now?
yeah, I think Rent a Hitman. I'm going to Google that right now.
A hit.
Rent a Hitman. And if you weren't here yesterday, we were Rent a Hitman. It's the first your point and
There
click
it is.
solution. All right. Rent a Hitman is your point and click solution. Free operative gear available now. The dark web is not safe, but Rent a Hitman is. Rest assured, your information will remain private since Rent a Hitman is the only organization in the world that is 100% compliant with, get this, the Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964.
Oh my God, that's okay. I wasn't thinking of anything as jokey as that, but I was. You know what? I'll write it. You guys will see it,
Yeah.
and you can tear it apart if you want.
This is
Things
actually
are so
awesome.
much.
This is a brilliant site. So it says, got a problem that needs resolving, in bold. And then with over 17,985 US-based field operatives, we can find a solution that's right for you.
Yeah.
Since 1920, Rent a Hitman has assisted satisfied clients from all walks of life, ranging from regular citizens, children and adults, to government employees and even political figures. Rent a Hitman has seen it all and knows just how to precisely handle your delicate situation. Dude, that's gold.
Well, it's funny. I'm amazed that this fooled anyone.
Dude, the people are just,
Maybe they don't read it. They say, "I need a hitman. Here's the site. I click here.
Oh yeah.
I avoid the fine print."
Well, we looked at that woman who used the Rent a Hitman website, and she did not look like she was cracking the fucking atom, right?
Hey,
yeah, for some people, it's all right just to read the.
Oh no, go ahead, Tobin.
For some people, it's all right just to read the little headline and the little caption in their Google search. They don't really need to read all that article, all that nonsense. It's just a lot of words,
and words confuse people.
yeah, they get really confusing. Some of them are really hard to say.
Yeah. Cryptomaria says, yes, half of the Rent a Hitman sites are cops doing a sting. Exactly, Cryptomaria. Exactly.
I'll just call ACDC. You got a problem and you want it gone, but you ain't got the guts.
Dirty deeds.
Dirty deeds. Done dirt cheap.
Yeah, but it's a hilarious. Just a cursory look at that site. It's freaking hilarious.
I wonder how many people have actually called that phone number that they throw out on that song.
I don't know, dude.
Or how many people have actually tried to call Jenny.
You know what would be fascinating too, and this might be going a little bit more into the weeds on the kidnapping atheists, or however we want to brand the site, is having a little jingle too, right? I mean, it wouldn't be on the site; it would be like it would be like
yes,
like a YouTube short or something. But I think that would be fucking hilarious too, doing a little jingle. Yeah, right, Tobin.
Got my wheels turning.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that is quite an exciting project if it does come to light.
I'm quite the ad man, one-liners. I'm good at.
Right. God, imaginary God mentions that the A-10 Warthog is a plane that has the Vulcan cannon on it, the Gatling machine gun on it. It's I think it's meant to attack ground targets, and so you kind of strafe um, targets with this Gatling machine gun.
Oh, the A-10. What do they call it? The Warthog.
The Warthog, yeah.
Yeah, I think it does that.
Yeah. Jesse Bear said, my husband worked at a gun range back in the day. People's stupidity will never stop amazing me. Well, yeah, just when you think that there's a bottom to stupid, and people
I tell you what, you guys must have went to different gun ranges than we ever went to. Well, they were gun clubs, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Was a member of Holiday Gun Club and Magna Gun Club.
Well, yeah, I imagine that if you're going to a club with a certain group of people, then they would have us, easier to have rules and regulations in it than just people coming off the street, basically, who just want to go shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is everyone up to? You guys got anything going on today? Anything exciting?
Got a photo shoot in San Antonio. I'm not sure if it's today or tomorrow.
Is it modeling or taking the photos?
Pardon me?
Taking the photos or being in the photos?
I do both, but tomorrow I'm behind the camera.
Okie dokie.
Is it wedding related?
No, it's just a mini shoot. It pays $250. It's an hour.
Not bad.
And so, go down to San Antonio. It's a free date just to go out and have some fun.
Okay.
That's great. It's hard to find people who understand that you really need photographers, that you can't just send out a bunch of guys with their cameras. Just because you have a camera doesn't make you a photographer. So that's good. You're dealing with people who think like that.
Yeah. We get a lot of them. Last night I was shooting the family, and then I got in on a couple of the shots. But, she'll put that out and then do mini sessions where they have to come to us out to the property. Mm-hmm. And it's 15 photos, $150. Wow. And they turn out fabulous. They, $10 for a memory, a priceless memory. It's a bargain.
Cool. How's your daughter doing post baby? I mean, I don't want to say post baby because that sounds weird, right? Post birth. You have a baby.
She was went and done another wedding shoot Saturday.
Okay.
I had the baby. It was pretty cool. Mm. It was pretty cool. She pumps up the milk, and I just have to warm up bottles. It's easy to,
Mm.
So Jesse Bear says that the gun range was in a tourist area, so that explains a lot.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
So rented guns from the range. It was not for people well trained in shooting. My husband is a veteran and prevented many deaths. I could see that. Yeah.
Well, I can see how that would happen. Someone's all excited. Hey, I've never been to a gun range before. Oh, look at this beautiful gun. Oh, no, I accidentally pointed it at someone because I wasn't thinking. Pow,
Yeah.
pow,
It's
pow,
crazy.
pow, pow.
It's crazy over in Florida. That's one of the things that drove me crazy over there was they will allow other countries' licenses. So you don't have to know how to drive in our country.
Ooh.
There in Florida, like, it is nuts over there. There is no consideration for any of the signs, traffic rules, or any of that shit. It's crazy.
There's a stretch of road here in the greater Boston area. It's Route 1. It's a stretch of road outside of Boston, and it's crazy because there's tons of traffic. There's like a lot of people turning off to go to stores or restaurants or whatever, and I call that Little Florida. Because I've driven in Florida before. It's crazy, right? I agree with you, Tobin, but I consider that to be like Little Florida, especially when it's cranking. When there's a lot of people on that stretch, it's nutty.
But
That
when
phenomenon in Florida of drivers who don't seem to know anything because they're 180 years old, and I wonder how many Canadians are down in Florida right now, causing havoc because they're so old they shouldn't be driving. You know.
I, I hope to be old enough for to see automated cars like being the norm, because that's going to save
Mm.
so many people so many headaches as well as accidents.
Oh, that'll be great. And you could be an old person, be unable to drive, but own one of those cars and
Oh,
just get in them and tell them where you want to go. And
yeah, it's like having your own private taxi for all intents and purposes.
Mhm.
Jesse Bear says, "John, tell your daughter she is a rock star for pumping." It is difficult. I saw my then wife do it. It's difficult. It's not easy.
Oh, I'm not. She's a goddamn cow.
Wow, John! Wow.
do
I
not
mean,
call her that.
that little heifer is just fucking pumping out the milk.
Jesus.
I have to tell you, I did get just to let you know, I did get yellow cards and red cards.
You know what?
Specifically for the-
Me and my
specifically-
baby girl have got such a relationship that that she wouldn't. I've said that to her,
Sure.
so that's so I can say it here.
Right.
I'm like, God damn, heifer, you got
Oh my God.
you got the jugs going.
I once saw a cousin call his wife a whale. She's like in whale mode because she's pregnant. And I thought these two are getting a divorce.
You are
And
gonna,
sure enough.
I don't know
That's
why.
pretty.
You know what's remarkable isn't the fact that we have so many people killing each other in romantic relationships. It's just that there's just so few. Because you're talking all this smack, and you're sleeping with a person. You're in your most delicate, your most fragile, your most, you're open to any kind of harm, and you're sleeping with someone who you're giving a lot of crap to. It's amazing that there isn't more violence.
Well, domestic violence is very popular.
You listen to that Marilyn Manson stuff. I was reading that Rolling Stone article about Marilyn Manson and the kind of crazy stuff he did to his romantic partners, and sadistic, and he has a ton of lawsuits going up against him right now. And it's no wonder he found God. It's no wonder he found God. John Hudson, what are you doing over there? Are you playing with fire?
It's like the cigars. I like to light them with a match, but I'm not smoking cigars anymore. So I finished them off yesterday, and so nothing but pipe now.
Cool. Yeah, Manson. I mean, and if you haven't followed and I'm not a big fan of Marilyn Manson to begin with, but he has found Jesus. He is now in the Kanye church.
No.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It is so typical of a person who has ran their lives into the gutter, because Marilyn Manson is a creep who's been abusing the women that he's been dating for decades at this point. And if you look at the Rolling Stone article, you just gotta Google Marilyn Manson Rolling Stone, and I'm sure you'll find it. It is a disturbing look at him, and it's no wonder he found Jesus, and he's hanging out with Kanye West and finding Jesus.
He had his isolation chamber and stuff where he'd lock him in that shit. Yeah, I read that article. He's fucking pretty fucking creepy.
He would put his girlfriends into an isolation chamber, soundproof.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they screamed or not. No one would be able to hear them.
Leave them there for days.
Yeah, it is. It is disturbing, and it just, it makes my blood boil, to tell you the truth. I can't believe this is the first time I've mentioned it too, because there's so many other things that make my blood boil, and of course the business side of this, whatever we're doing here, of course, with the the kidnapping atheist site and all the other stuff. There's so much to talk about. But yes, Marilyn Manson fighting God, because now he's in the trouble bubble. So fucking typical.
Speak of trouble bubble, what do you think is going to happen up in Wisconsin?
Oh, with Rittenhouse?
Yeah.
Nothing fucking good.
I think win, lose or draw, the boy's going to shed some tears. No, it's just an idea. I just suspect that's going to happen. That it won't turn out pretty. Now, why hasn't his mother been brought up on charges for child endangerment?
Well, his mother's a piece of work, isn't she?
Oh fuck, she's a fucking
She is a piece of work.
She's the one who drove him to there with the weapon. Yeah, I think she's more responsible almost than he is.
Where are them charges against her?
He's like 19 or
he was 17 when he did it.
17.
17.
17 when he did it.
Yeah, the mall, needs to be taken a look at, and for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I also found it very suspicious that he felt the need to protect this community where he doesn't live, and it happened to be at the site of a protest where people were complaining about police officers shooting an unarmed black man.
Yeah.
As I recall, I hope I have those facts correct.
Yeah, that is
and that people are protesting the shooting of unarmed black men. I've got to go there and put a stop to it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, then when they let him out, him hanging out in the fucking bar with his free as fuck shirt, flaunting it,
flaunting the white supremacy sign too. Yeah.
At that fucking point, that tells me a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was like a fuck you to the system. I mean, and I'm all about fuck you to the system, but
you had me at fuck you, John Hudson.
I have a lot of fuck yous to the system, but
Yeah, so Rittenhouse.
I never bring my guns to a protest.
Why? Yeah. Why? That's not necessary. That is not necessary. So the jury is deliberating with the Rittenhouse case, and so I don't know when they expect to have a verdict, but I think people should expect to have very low expectations. You should have low expectations about whether or not he gets punished.
Also, there's a weird thing where even people on the left who have been watching the video evidence, there's really weird video evidence of Rittenhouse being run at because some people thought he might have been the shooter behind something else. And so that's being used as well as a 17-year-old who suddenly had people running at him mad as hell. And so he started firing. And it makes him just a smidge more sympathetic than a complete right-wing nutbar who wants to shoot people.
Yeah.
He showed up there with a fucking gun. There's intent.
Yes, I agree.
I was taught, you point a gun at somebody for one fucking reason. You're going to fucking smoke their ass. That's the only reason you should ever fucking point a gun at anything. Yeah. You have fucking intention of killing it. Period. Fucking bar none. It's not to get motherfuckers to back down. That warning goes up before you point that gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You point that gun, you fucking squeeze off.
Well, I would find it difficult to be able, me being untrained, right? Even if I was trained in handling a rifle, I would find it difficult to make good decisions in a chaotic environment like a protest at nighttime. How,
Also, apparently the police had sort of left, for some reason, left these people to themselves.
You fucking police were waving at this fucking kid.
Yeah.
As he's fucking walking down the street with his gun. What the fuck there? That's criminal.
Oh, but it's also legal to have these guns openly displayed, right?
Well, that's shitty. That's a shitty state law. Yeah.
Yes, but it's still, you see, if it's legal to have an AR-15 and carry it down the street, then suddenly all the judgment and the jurors have to place all of this within that context.
I'm a big believer in jury nullification. It's something that judges don't tell people, is that, if you don't agree with the law, you can still, if you're a juror, you don't have to actually vote regarding that law. You can nullify that law effectively by saying, in your own head, it's like, I don't agree with it, so I'm voting this way on the jury.
I like that idea. I just, it seems that justice is so remote in this particular case.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, Keva, he's an atheist over in Iraq, in Iran, in Tehran, and he pointed out that you can have shitty state laws. Rittenhouse can still be a shit person, basically, and Rittenhouse can be found innocent because of shit laws. All those things can happen at the same time. Yeah, I just want to bounce over to what Imaginary God was talking about here, about Alex Jones found guilty on all 4 counts. Yeah, that was from, we did talk about that yesterday in the civil trial. Jones decided not to supply evidence because he knew he was guilty, and any evidence that he showed would probably get him deeper into the trouble bubble. And so now a jury is going to figure out how much he owes the plaintiffs.
And he didn't submit his financial information.
No, of course not.
Which means the jury can say, "Oh, well, maybe we should award what we think he might have earned during that time," and it could be a huge amount. He could be.
I would bleed the man out for as much as humanly possible. I'd think of a big number and then double the big number. I don't know. Yeah. I would just go for as high as possible.
Amazing he took the risk to go for a default judgment, though. Surely his lawyers must have known it.
People do default judgments, from what I understand, is when they know they can't win, or when the documents that they supply will actually put them into deeper trouble.
He definitely needs to be punished financially. I mean, definitely. But I don't know. I think we should think about taking away all of his money, because I have heard that man talk about eating his neighbor if things got bad enough.
Something else. That asshole, Alex Jones, did this. He actually, after this judgment, he said that people were accusing him of killing these babies. And so he pretended that the lawsuit was about an accusation that he had killed these babies, which no one has ever accused him of that.
Of course not. No.
So he's playing the victim. Son of a bitch.
Well, what he is doing, remember the term stochastic, I believe it's stochastic terrorism, right? The idea that someone stokes up enough hatred amongst people for them to commit acts of terrorism. So you can, that term was used a lot with Donald J. Trump when he was president. You create the environment where people are weaponized to go act out on whatever crazy stuff that you're talking about. And you look at the parents of Sandy Hook and how much crap they got, how much harassment, and how much harassment they still get from Jones's fans who think that the shootings were fake, that believe it was a white flag? I believe that's the term.
False flag.
A false flag, right? A false flag. It's a false flag thing. So they're still suffering to this day because of it, because of Jones.
Oh, he showed up at a fucking couple of political things down here in Austin. That shows up in his armored vehicle and shit. And I think the one was George Floyd type thing when they was on the freeway. And he shows up in this armored vehicle and stuff. And on his bullhorn, I'm with you guys, and this and that. And still, motherfuckers tried to tip his vehicle over and get the shit out of there. Austin is a very liberal town, and they do not like their Alex Jones. Yeah. That's where he comes out of. That's where he got to start.
So what I'm hearing is that every citizen of Austin should carry, in a protected satchel, of course, maybe a dozen eggs just in case they see Alex Jones.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes work too.
Rotten Tomatoes, sure. That's not,
if it's legal for Alex Jones to carry a gun, you can be sure he is. So I'm not sure if I would throw eggs at him.
Good point.
Yeah, but I got a little secret. Liberals have guns too.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
It's a secret, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I want to make a truck mount flamethrower.
That sounds like definitely within the realm of possibility, maybe even probability that you could do that. Yeah.
It just sounds like it'd be fun. I would just I want to make a flamethrower to see how far a flame I could throw, just to videotape it.
Sure. Well, I'm not an expert in flamethrowers, nor do I play one on TV. But,
Dr. Kennard knows everything. We know he.
I would just exercise caution if you were going to go on your homemade DIY flamethrower experiment.
I haven't put much caution to anything in my fucking entire life. You know that, Andy.
Yeah, with flamethrowers, don't they mix it with a sort of a gel? It's like napalm. It sticks to everything.
You can mix gasoline with styrofoam, and that shit will stick. Like oh yeah, and then if you can throw it with compressed air. We've done some experiments with it.
Holy crap! What kind of mad scientist are you?
What's that?
I want to hear more about these experiments of yours with styrofoam and gasoline.
Styrofoam and gasoline.
You mix it together?
The gasoline mix it. Yes.
It actually makes it into like a paste.
A gelatinous type stuff. And whatever it hits, it sticks to and it continues to burn. It
burns for a long time. I've used it to burn stuff that is like kind of wet, and I really want that pile of shit to go away. You can put that stuff on there, and it'll burn right up.
What I love about this is that the other one Texan is talking about making styrofoam and gas into this napalm like mixture, and the other one's like, oh yeah. The other Texan's like, oh yeah, you can.
Oh yeah.
That's not even a problem.
Fucking A.
I don't even know how you don't know how to do that, Northerner. Homemade napalm. Very nice.
Yeah. But you don't get the pleasure of calling in airstrikes when you shoot your own flamethrower.
Yeah, but the smell of that napalm in the morning, I'm just telling you, it's what I live for.
I imagine you could actually build like a catapult and propel the stuff.
Oh fuck! Man. Now you got me thinking, Andy.
You know, because you had that Greek fire, right? The Greek fire that would be kind of like this napalmy like substance that could be.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, you know, these I think the Greek, maybe the Byzantines, they had these projections. They had Greek fire on ships, and they would like launch it over to you know.
Well, there's using vitrophane with flame. Does the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think they don't actually know what Greek fire was made out of. I mean, obviously we could make it today, but they don't know what formula the Greeks used. I often wonder what it could have been. Maybe did they have coal back then? And you mix it with something? I don't know.
Just a quick look. Greek fire was an incendiary weapon used by the Byzantine Empire beginning in 672 AD. Used to set fire to enemy ships, it consisted of a combustible compound and emitted by a flame-throwing weapon. So I'm looking at this manuscript here. It wasn't a catapult. They actually had some way to shoot it out of a cannon or some kind of rifle. Crazy stuff.
Well, there's so many things you can use as an accelerant to catapult something.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you give us more details for the kids out there?
Hairspray, butane.
I don't know. I think most of us here are old enough to remember going through bookstores and seeing like the Anarchist's Cookbook just kicking around. And I'm like looking through it. It's like, wow, I don't know if this stuff should be made public. Right? I don't think you can buy it now at in comic book stores like you used to be able to do back in the 80s and the 90s.
That was a dirty book.
Yeah.
That's information that people shouldn't know.
It reminded me of the whole scandals you would get with Soldier of Fortune magazine, because we used to sell tons of it in my family's bookstore, newspaper, magazine shop, and we'd get like 75 copies, and we'd sell them, and always someone would look through the ads in the back and hire a hitman, and then the bloody magazine company would get sued. because they put an ad for a hitman in the back. And maybe the person said adventurer or personal security guard or something like that.
There's code. There's code.
Yes. And so it was funny.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, I remember he was looking through a Soldier of Fortune magazine, in the back where the ads were. He's like, if I join this mercenary army, I can be a sergeant. It's like, good for you.
Yeah. I could have been a contender with the mercenary army.
Yeah.
So, by the way, since there are 5 of us here, how many people do you think we could get to come on board for supporting Kidnap an Atheist?
No, I don't know. It's a
All
good
right.
question. It's a good question. You never. I don't.
I think the idea is hilarious, dude. I think you should run with it.
I mean, the good thing is that not too many people watch this channel and aren't watching us now, so it's still kind of a secret squirrel. And
also it's another thing to ask somebody to contribute cash. It's always a different thing, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll find out what my friend wants as an honorarium for putting it together.
Yeah. I guess I missed the whole concept of what you guys are talking about.
So there is this site, this story called Rent a Hitman, right? And it's basically just a fake site. And this woman was arrested because she wanted to kill her ex-husband, and she went on Rent a Hitman site. So we were just talking about this yesterday, John. And I was like, well, what would be really funny is if there was a Kidnap an Atheist site to try to deprogram them, right? So it would be a fake site. And we'd see how many, either Christians or Muslims or, the faithful who would send in the form. We'd have a form and say that they would want to kidnap their brother, their cousin, their nephew, who happens to be an atheist, in order to deprogram them. It would be a complete fake site.
Well, yeah. Well, what would be funny too is that we need to have the reason why you want this atheist kidnapped.
Yes.
What sins is he committing that you want fixed? Because our reprogramming is,
fucking magic. That's magic. Yeah, that would be in the questionnaire, right?
Yes. Well, absolutely.
What sins are they committing?
So not only do we get kidnapped, there's also a reprogramming program.
Yeah, there have to be a reprogramming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've made some notes about this, so I will get on the text, and we'll see what happens.
Let's kidnap Andy.
I would throw in a few bucks on this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It would be a great gag. I mean, and it would be, I think, fascinating to see how many people get caught up in the web.
Do you know what'd be funny too is put some things in there on our success programs of reprogramming people.
Yeah, testimonials.
Yeah, testimonials. That's exactly.
Testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to make
Johnson out of Baton Rouge was known to heathen and sinner, and he was captured. Now he's pastor in Shreveport. I don't know. But go into some detail on their what they was doing and how they was converted. Now personal assistant Kenneth Copeland.
Copeland, right. So there's so on Rent a Hitman. I'm back looking at it again. At the very bottom, I fucking shit you not on this. You can look at it at rentahitman.com. There's customer service and industry awards. Rent a Hitman provides an exceptional customer service and satisfaction. We are proud to be globally recognized as a leader in our industry. And then here's another one: group and senior discounts available. So it's a brilliant site.
Do we want to have a site that gets the maximum number of letters, or do we want to have a site that gets the maximum number of laughs? Because we could do either. I just think it's better to avoid the laughs.
Yeah, I would
And
say so too. If and this is I would say if you look at rentahitman.com, I think that's a good template to go with.
And not saying a whole lot is I think something that is a really cool technique. Like there was a person who just put this wicked looking clown on there and a phone number, and all these people started this whole like lure behind this sticker that this one person was putting out, like let people fill in the blanks in a way.
Yeah, right. You have to let people use their imagination.
Yeah.
And implication. So they do give there are customer testimonials too on Rent a Hitman. And one of them is from Fernando M. Kansas. And they say, my business schedule is too busy to get my hands dirty with human resources issues. So I consulted with Rent a Hitman, and they handled my disgruntled employee issue promptly while I was out of town on vacation. Gracias, Rent a Hitman. It is great.
Well, I hope this gets us. I hope this comes to fruition, and we're happy with it.
And if your buddy can't do it, my buddy Satanist Jack, he's a programmer. And,
Jack Maturko.
Right?
He's a sharp guy.
Sharp guy. Yeah, he's a good guy, and so he might know someone to do that too. But we'll see how much your buddy charges first, and we'll play it from there.
Well, the way you write your satire, Andy, it's like, fuck, if I didn't know any better, I would have to Google it to fucking see if it's truth or not, because it's a lot of the stuff you write just fucks me up that way. It's
what's
like
your blog site?
It sounds
URL?
so believable.
What's that?
What's your blog site URL?
Oh, let's see. It is, and I'm just looking. It's on Pathos, and my URL officially looking, and I should know. It's just pathos.com blogs laughing in disbelief.
Oh, okay.
If you just look at laughing in disbelief blog, you'll probably find me. And like today's poll was Archbishop Timothy Dolan fights against clean drinking water, and that was today's poll. And what was the subheading? It was Timothy. I fucking hate this guy. The best joke out of the bit was, my big fat gold cross brings all the schoolboys to the yard.
Okay, that is wonderful. I got this big thing that says, "Is this satire?"
Yeah. If you click on that, you get to my blog basically, and then just hit home, and that's all me. That's all the chaos there, brother. Yeah. Because what happens is that it is because people click on "is this satire" link so much, that's the first thing that pops up in the search in the search.
Oh, okay.
Engine. Yeah.
Tom, you still here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking in on you. Just being a brother, man.
We were hoping that the kidnapping atheist people didn't get to you.
Yeah.
Tom. That's what we were hoping on. You're hoping,
Yeah, I'll give my testimonial later.
Yeah, you got to make it believable, but you got to make it sound absurd too in the same thing. I mean, just just because it would be more fun if somebody thought it was real, and you can kind of tell that it's satire by that. But like that page you was talking about.
Yeah, the Rent a Hit. Believe me, there are enough people, even with. I mean.
Hey, I'm out. My little guy's here.
All right, take care, man.
Later, John.
Right.
Good seeing you.
Bye.
And once again, the Rent a Hitman site. There are obviously some jokes in there, but people still believe it. And like Tobin said, people don't read shit. People just don't read. They read the headline, and then they go, "Oh, I'm interested in this service. Let me click the information and type in my personal information." And we're gonna get all kinds of stuff, man. If we get the site going, it'd be hilarious.
Right. Well, part of it is that if with this guy, we can't go back and forth with him with like 26 editorial changes and change the background, change this, change that. Not when he's doing it for nearly free.
Yeah.
So we'll have to look hard at the price and decide, what we want to do.
Yeah. And we can take a look at the copy, right? I mean, we'll look at,
Yes.
we'll look at what's, and once again, simpler is better in general, especially when you're trying to sell something or trying to get people to do. Simpler is better. And like I said, the Rent a Hitman site is a good template to go with in terms of writing style, simplicity, and how to get people into the system.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take a shot at it.
Sure.
And writing it, and you obviously have proven your writing skill a million times over. Mine can serve. It's really great to have a rough draft, even if you don't like it. Having a rough draft in front of you that you can change or respond to is really good. So
Big Zebra, I can't tell you enough. It's. I told a lot of people before. I've mentioned this to a lot of creators before. It's like especially writers. It's like the rough draft is the rough draft. You can't be married to it, and it's a starting off point. That's what it is.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
stuff is built in layers. And if you get too married to your idea in the beginning and you don't want to change any of it, then you kind of miss out on some of the good stuff that can come of it. But yeah, I definitely, dude, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear or see this website.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dee. You're wonderful.
Is it me or is Big Zebra extra stripy today? Have you been taking your multivitamins?
Actually, I just ate a bag of jujubes, so maybe that's
really?
it. They were on sale. I couldn't help myself.
I understand.
Okay. So anyway, I have yet to hear back about price, and I'll take a shot at writing it. I have it in a Google Doc, my notes. So eventually, we can just all pile in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That I think it's like I said, it's a project worth looking at.
Yes, I'm hoping we can have a laugh, and especially if, God willing, there'll be so many applications that they could make a website of their own, or maybe a book that's sold on Kindle.
Yeah. There are many facets of it. There are many ways that we could definitely play it. I mean, once, if the site goes up, of course, I would promote it on my own blog and on the Facebook pages that I run and the groups that I run. And I would play it straight. I'd be like, can you believe this? Rent? No, I'm sorry. Kidnap an atheist. Yeah.
Yes. I think there'll be a lot of fun to be had with the question of whether or not deprogramming, reprogramming, re-Christianizing, all that shit.
Re-Christianizing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or does that make you uncomfortable?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm a person who, I'm all about what works, what works. So, and of course, we ideally would want to get not just Christians in the web, right? So there'd be services for non-Christian. If you're of another Abrahamic faith, and or even non-Abrahamic faith, and if you need this service, we have special operatives out there who can help you. Independent contractors, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Okay, and re-Christianizing. So you want to.
And I got to tell everyone, this is a lot of people glamorize the artistic process, the creative process, but this is all this is all it is. It's just working, trying to figure out, does this word work here? Does this sentence make sense? It is not glamorous work whatsoever.
Also, with humor, if you've ever been doing public speaking, God help you if you stumble over a word in the middle of a joke, because it just always kills it. God forbid.
There are a variety of cheap tricks and saves that I remember Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian, who I really like. He does really dark humor. And whenever a joke failed in front of a live crowd, his way to get out of it was saying, "I thought you guys were cool," you know.
Yes, but if you were, for example, telling a joke and you tried to say emphasize, and instead you said empathize, empathize. If you
Right.
stumbled like that, you've killed your joke. It
Yeah,
just,
yeah. And if someone brought it out, that someone brought it up from like the audience, for an example. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not a pristine joke, but you can still, you might be able to work it out, depending on your skill level. To tell you the truth,
One thing is just don't acknowledge your mistake. Just
yeah,
like
okay.
keep on going and rebound from it. There is rebound. I think you can rebound.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never done stand up, and you have, Andy. So I would listen to you, especially.
Yeah.
And I would listen to you a bit too, Toba. Promise.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just being silly. It
That's
came
okay.
off wrong.
So I'm going to close things out a little bit early today because I have to wrap my girlfriend's birthday presents.
Hurry.
I was the good thing about getting like good sleep is that I get like 7 or 8 hours. But now the thing is, I'm still planning my days out, expecting that I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at 7 o'clock, and that eats my timeline up a bit.
Right.
And I still haven't really gotten used to that. So I'm going to close things up a little bit. I'm going to cut some paper, tape some stuff, and do it because no surprise, I'm a horrible wrapper of presents. And I'm going to do my best. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Well, have a good day and happy birthday to the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll do your best.
She's pretty lucky that she's got somebody that would take the time to cut it up. Because if it's left up to me, I'll wrap it up in foil and hand it to you.
Excellent, dude. All right. I'll take care, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.
Shamala hamala.
Shamala hamala. And ending.